Every bird has a beak. It uses its beak to eat. Since birds do not have teeth, they either swallow the food whole or use their beak to break or tear food into small pieces before swallowing. The shape of the beak depends on the kind of food they eat. They also use beaks to protect themselves and to build their nests. They clean and smoothen their feathers with their beaks. This is called preening. Did you know that birds breathe through tiny openings on their beaks? Isn't that fascinating? The shape and function of beaks can help determine whether a bird is a generalist or a specialist. The birds that are generalists can live off a diverse diet or habitat, so their beak isn't specially adapted for any one specific kind of food or environment. Birds that are specialists are adapted to a more limited diet and environment. Their beaks are specially designed depending on the specific type of food they eat or the method they use to obtain their food. Birds that feed on nectar from flowering plants tend to have a long, fine bill with a moderate downward curve to it to allow the collection of nectar from the base of the flower. Birds that fly just above the surface of the water, dipping their bills into the water to catch small fish, tend to have surface skimming beaks. Probing bills are long and thin, curving downwards. They are used by the bird to feed on worms and other small invertebrates in mud or soft ground. Birds that eat fruit often have very large bills in relation to head size, allowing them to grasp and manipulate large pieces of fruit and break through the outer skin to the soft fruit inside. As the name suggests, insect-catching bills typically help birds catch insects either in flight or directly from trees, shrubs, plants, and even the ground. They are generally pointed and are small as compared to overall head size. Pigeons and finches are the noticeable members with seed or grain-eating bills. They are characterized by broad triangular jaws that enable the birds to break into the shells of grains and seeds. Pelicans have a large fold of skin that can be used like a net to trap fish or crustaceans in a large gulp of water. The water is drained off and the catch is then swallowed. These have dip netting beaks. Siding bills are used by wading birds in mudflats and other wetlands to catch small insects or other creatures by sweeping the long, thin, upturned bill through the surface waters or mud. Filter feeding bills are indeed strange. They tend to have a pronounced almost 90-degree downturn to them with a large bulbous lower jaw. This downward angle allows for the bottom half of the bill to be submerged in water whilst the top half remains in the air. The bird uses this bill to filter out small crustaceans from the water. The kingfisher has a long spear-like bill that helps in aerial fishing. It uses its beak to catch small fish in a diving flight into the water from above. Scavenging birds are opportunistic birds that eat from the dead carcasses of animals or other birds. Their bills are extensive, with a pronounced hooked end allowing the flesh to be torn from the body. Birds of prey such as the hawks and owls that feed on small mammals or other birds have raptor bills. The sharp hooked beak helps to pierce the prey and hold onto it once caught. It is then used to tear off pieces for easier feeding. The most common birds with chiseling bills are the woodpeckers. They are used to open up hollows, get at subsurface bugs, and signal other birds in the area. Their beaks are relatively long and thin, though very strong, and can be struck against tree trunks or branches up to 40 times a second. To know more about birds, their feathers, and claws, join us.